Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Before I get on out of here today, I want to take some time to get into some politics and chatter about what we saw last week during the state funeral for former President Jimmy Carter. There were 5 living presidents in attendance to honor Carter, including Presidents Barack Obama and Donald Trump. Here's what Trump said in regards to his apparent friendly exchange between himself and former President Barack Obama, because, you saw them together sitting next to one another, yucking it up, smiling, laughing, having a good time, that kind of thing. And this is what President Trump had to say about that. Quote, "I didn't realize how friendly it looked," end quote. And then while watching the video, he continued by saying, "Boy, they look like 2 people that like each other. And we probably do," end quote. Now, many have come to criticize President Obama for his interactions with President Trump. Charlemagne the God accused former President Obama of, quote, "kissing the ring," end quote, and pointed out that Obama once called Trump a threat to democracy. And, of course, we heard Don Lemon going off about it as well on his show over on X, if I remember correctly. Look. Was it a good look for Barack Obama? No. On its face, no. Civility is the order of the day. These are 2, one's a former president, one's the president-elect. And so there is a relationship to some degree that, everybody should have. We get that. We understand that. Some would say Michelle Obama was more representative than anything because, she wasn't sitting next to him, wasn't there. You look at it from this perspective. Here's my thing. It wasn't a good look, but it wasn't a good look because of Trump. It wasn't a good look because of all the things that were said about Trump during the campaign while you were trying to convince tens of millions of people to vote for Kamala Harris. Fascist, threat to democracy, people bringing up Nazis and all of this stuff when they talked about Trump. So maybe if you hadn't said all of those things, people wouldn't be going off like this. See, to me, I look at it totally, totally differently. I look at it from this standpoint. Everything goes in politics. We understand that. But in the end, it just shows how we should be very selfish in our thinking in terms of us and what's in the best interest of the country, as opposed to listening to what the hell these politicians say, because we just can't trust them. We just can't trust them. The likelihood is that Obama didn't mean half the things that he alluded to or flat out said about Trump. Maybe Hillary Clinton did. Maybe Michelle Obama did. But Barack Obama himself, probably not. By the way, if we're being honest about it, they got a little bit in common, at least when it comes to illegal immigrants. Obama deported more, sent more back than Trump did. He just didn't advertise it. So when Trump talks about closing the borders and not allowing over 14 million illegal immigrants into the country and stuff like that, Obama just didn't advertise it, but he damn sure did it. He made sure it didn't happen. It was the antithesis of what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden ordered to open the borders, didn't give any kind of explanation whatsoever. Obama was considered the deporter-in-chief. That brother was not playing when it came to illegal immigrants entering the country. He turned them back, and the ones that were here, he deported a lot of them. He wasn't messing around. He wasn't mincing words. He wasn't playing games. So in that regard, there are some similarities. You got to at least bring that up. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think class and decorum is the order of the day, especially at a funeral, let alone a funeral with of one of the former presidents of the United States. I don't think that that's a time for vitriol. I don't think that's a time for insults. That's a time for cantankerous or abrasive behavior or anything. I don't think that's not the place. It's not the place. I think that's fair to say. And Obama has always been considered class personified. So it's not that big of a deal. But Charlemagne the God is right when he says it wasn't a good look. I don't know about the kiss in the ring part. I really don't. because Obama did his 2 terms. He's living his life. And when he's called upon by the Democratic Party to be supportive of it, it ain't phasing him. And oh, by the way, he'll never be campaigning against Trump again because Trump is not running for office after these next 4 years. This is it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I just think that in light of all that was said about him leading up to the election, I go as far as to say it wasn't a good look. But that's all I'm going to say. It ain't the end of the world. It really, really isn't.